back again with another Moonkin Monthly, joined by today guest Borabank of Encore on Illidan. Bora, how's it been?
What? Yeah, it's pretty good. Just back again, second time. Woo!
Woo!
And Nick, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
How's Aversion?
I would say we're doing good.
Mhm.
Not much to say, to be honest. Right test and such, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just raid testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Clearing a raid in like 2 hours now on live.
Clear the
Oh,
raid.
shit.
Yeah,
Good, man.
2 hour clear, and then log off for the week. You know how it is.
Dude, I'm a PvP god. What are you talking about? I'm not
Oh,
logging off for the
Don't,
week.
don't, please. Stop.
Nick,
Keep it
just
on
because you're
top.
hard stuck in RPGs doesn't mean I'm not a PvP
Okay.
god.
I'm pretty sure I'm higher.
Alright, yeah, I'm just hard stuck 2100, dude. LFG's hard, okay?
Yikes.
Alright, and always, I'm Tettles, Hardstuck 2100 threes player. Balance mod, I guess.
Leader of the sinking ship.
Uh, I wasn't even the leader of the sinking ship, I was just a participant.
Oh, true.
Don't you put those demons on me.
He was just the person tied to the fucking mast.
Put me on the mast while we were going down. Alright. So, first off, we're going to start up with the Uldir Wrap-up. So first thing we wanted to kind of talk about is how we thought the spec was initially going to perform versus what do we really think now. So first off, initially I thought everybody thought that we were going to be like insanely high burst while lacking on sustained single target, which I think was still
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Until they nerfed it.
That was still pretty accurate, and then they kind of nerfed streaking stars about halfway through progression for most of us, right? Which was pretty big, and then that shifted us more towards Lively Spirit, for me at least. Did you guys run Lively Spirit on Prog?
Not
No.
at all.
Okay. So I was the only person who played Lively Spirit because I was the only person who had the traits for it.
Well, it wasn't. It's not
Because
even.
You're the only one that embraced the meta.
Yo,
It's not
I
even-
thought it was going to be good beforehand. I was like, oh
I
yeah,
mean-
I'll take traits for that.
It's
It's not
just
even
like
having the traits for it. It's literally. Are your healers fine with it? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to take the cooldown away from my healers because that's my utility. Where I can get comparable or competitive damage while using it. Like even now, like I run Lively on 7 of 8, and then I take it off for Cahoon because I want to make sure we kill the boss. Like my healers used to certain innervate timing so they can put out certain amounts of healing. So I
I
don't
mean,
want to fuck that up.
yeah, no, this is why I had to have like a conversation with my healers before the tier even started and was like, yo, there's this trait, it kind of sucks. What would you think about us playing it? They're like, oh, it's going to be fine. But I think as the tier went on longer and longer, they got really tired of innervate on pull, my innervate, try hard, kind of just bullshit because it's like, oh yeah, it's just a great damage cooldown that requires my healers to coordinate with me, and it's taking away their external mana source, and it's like, well, this is not fun for. I don't think it's fun for anybody really.
it's
No.
not.
Like, have you ever given innervate to somebody and then they like forgot? Or like normally you're used to they're used to getting it and like you don't really remind them.
Yo, okay,
And all
okay.
of a sudden,
Not gonna lie.
your Resto Druid uses it for fucking damage, and you walk out with 0 traits, and it's like, okay, well, it's like I'm not wearing any fucking Azrael gear. It's awesome.
So I play it in PvP too, and like there are these pug healers, and they're giving me like 2 stacks. I'm just like, are you just not casting? Like, what are you doing?
Still
My
1,000 damage.
paladin gave me like 1 stack in PvP yesterday.
What did you
That's
say?
great.
What did you say about
Nothing.
that?
I just accepted it and just moved on. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
You're
just,
just like, okay, I
sometimes it
guess?
happens. They get CC'd or they just like have better things to do. I guess I don't know. I'm not going to flame them. It's just frustrating sometimes if you
Yeah,
get like
it's like I
0
shouldn't. I
stacks.
wish I wasn't wearing this trait.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sort of deal.
I wish it would get nerfed to the point where it's not wearable personally, because it's
I
like
mean, it's
really
it's
annoying.
pretty much there, right? It got nerfed by like 40%. So
No, it's still your best trait if you get 12
yeah.
stacks, which is achievable pretty easily.
yikes.
I know, right?
You get a
plus
best 12 stacks. There's nothing that can beat it. So
yeah,
it's
no,
like,
plus it's like optimal on burst single target and optimal on burst AoE, so it's like still playable.
yeah, it's just like even after 40% nerf, it's still that good. It's sad to see.
Okay, so what do we think about the last couple bosses? So Mithrax, Gahoon. Do we want to talk about Zool? So I think for first off, we'll talk about Zool. I guess balance is really bad on Zool. Don't be upset if your raid leader benches you. That fight is
Yeah, it's one reason why you should pick a Boomy, and that's innovate.
not super sick for Zool. So and then Mithrax.
I've been up there for boss damage, but I mean you're not beating a rogue, right? You're, like,
No,
you're not a rogue, and you don't provide some sort of utility to the fight. Like you're not a Zool class, right?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I was like second or third in damage to priority target. Okay, so we ran a non-Zerg comp, right? We killed the boss in 5 minutes. I was like third damage on the adds with the debuff, right? Okay, sure, I'm playing the fight correctly. I'm almost losing to the Disc Priest and boss damage because I'm playing the fight correctly. It's like, oh, that's cool, I guess. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
sad.
we did the Zerg strat where you just burst on pull, you took moons, and like me and Gape were like doing pretty good damage, but.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, we could have done that, but we were running one rogue, so we had to take two waves of hexers or whatever. So it just took like a really long time.
Yeah, the one issue with the one good thing about Boomkin on that fight is treants. Treants are actually
Krogs
pretty strong.
taunting the Krogs is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not mandatory though, so it's like whatever.
But in the last phase, it's really nice because like there's like
saves your tank, yeah.
12 Krogs out at a time, and all of a sudden, you know, they just can't like do anything, and you're just, you know, like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I can like definitely take care of you, and you can stay alive. You don't need to have any resources directed towards them, and you don't end up screwing up the rogues or anything. So it's pretty nice. I like it a lot for that boss.
Mm-hmm. So when is Encore gonna start public logging so we can see All-Star Borabank back again?
I don't know. I really think public logging is a trap these days.
I mean, public logging has been a trap for forever.
The more I private log, the more I'm private logging, the more I'm like, yeah, you know, this is fine. And it's not even because like, you know, you're doing good damage or bad damage. Like there are times like, oh man, I really wish this log was public, but I don't need it public. Doing like, really good damage, and you know, everyone's doing fine damage, and everyone just wants to kill the boss and out, right? And I think that's the biggest benefit of private logging.
Yeah, just getting everybody on the same page. Like killing the boss is your top priority is definitely more important than bullshit parses and stuff sometimes. So what do we think about Mithrax with Boomy? So personally, I think the 1 minute cooldowns with Fury of Elune and Force of Nature were really good for killing the weapon spawn, but his balance.
Warrior of Elune, yeah.
Do you like Warrior of Elune? I like Force of Nature.
Yeah. So Warrior of Elune because of the intermission ads. I think definitely the play.
Also,
I mean, I'm taunting the Iraqi destroyer or whatever, so I don't
taunt both. Like you can still like, okay, so hey, if you walk into the phase and you don't use it on the first set, you can use it on the second set, and then you can use Fury of Elune on the first set, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can use Warrior of Elune on the second set.
Yeah.
You'll miss your Warrior of Elune on the very first ad that comes out, which is, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. And then you'll have Fury of Elune for it, and all your cooldowns will be resynced back up by the next
Where do you guys incarn on that fight? Because I'm incarning first ad of every single set.
No, I incarn second ad of every set, and then.
You mean right now, like on farm?
I mean, yeah, I still do the exact same things.
I just use it on cooldown or whenever like it feels right. There's just like we have so different timings because of split rates sometimes.
Oh well, you guys are splitting? We're doing like an alt raid. I mean, I think we're gonna start splitting at some point. But
we are doing 3 splits, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we're not doing Goon though, so it's like
okay. I mean, it's like fine.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. If you have the thing to kill
3 goons sounded real bad.
Goon is just like it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort.
Yeah, no, it's worth way more to split 3 times through 7 out of 8 than it is to even kill Goon once.
It gives 1 Azerite, a garbage trinket, and a random piece of gear. Normally, that's normally not even
it's
like
a weapon
good, right?
for us, but it's not even good. Like
I mean,
it's
okay, you could assume like it's one of the for casters, like it's one of the better bosses, or it's at least acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But for most people, it's a pretty garbage boss.
Yeah.
All right, and then Goon. So obviously balance is only really good at P1 Gahoon. Oh, or if you need people to run, right? I think there is merit in bringing a Boomkin if you need people to run at that 50% mark onwards. But even if you don't need it, you're not pacified anymore, so you can have classes like Warrior and Monk who can solo sides do it now.
I think that Boomkin is like pretty good, like all around in the fight, right? Like it's pretty decent.
Explain.
It's decent, yeah, but it's not
Do
like
explain.
the best.
It's
There's
one of
definitely
those
better
things where
choices.
it's one of those things where it's the idea of like, does damage matter anymore? And a lot of times, like, the answer is no. And you bring your good players, and your good players utilize their class to the best ability. Like, we have a lot of healing, we have a lot of things that can make the last phase a lot easier. Like let's say when you're progressing on the boss, everyone's doing about 24k HPS, right? And you have one, like, your disc priest is doing like insane fucking. And both boomkins can do, like, one boomkin will do like 6k HPS, and then another boomkin will do, another 6k, and then now you have like a half healer. Like, you're running 5.5 healers in that boss.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
So what do we think about Restoration Affinity as a whole? So I think it was pretty. I thought people understood that it was pretty good going into it, but I think it was pretty underrated in terms of like what was used for. So personally, I used Swiftman a fair amount to be able to like kind of top other members of my raid, not only as just my own personal defensive, but I was using it more in terms of like, oh, this is going to be good to try to save this warrior who's dying, or this whatever who just got hit by the beam on Mithrax.
Someone's jumping off of the thing during the reorigination blast. You run out there, you toss them a quick Swiftman. It's good.
They're jumping off the ledge during the reorigination blast and trying to get into the circle, but I don't know if they're going to make it or not. I'm just going to Swiftman them anyways. Hopefully they live, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the opportunity cost of healing people is a lot lower now.
It's also just like, in P3 Goon, you literally do like 0 damage outside of your cooldowns.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you just hit Swiftman on cooldown and Wild Growth on cooldown and just try to top some people.
Yeah, Bor and I were talking about this before you showed up, Nick. And I was telling my guild like during prog, like, can you do any more P3 damage? I was like, not if you want me to heal. I'll guarantee you like 1.5 million damage in Phase 3 Gahoon, and then 6k HPS, but that's all I'm gonna guarantee. And like, if you want me to do more damage and heal less, I can do whatever you want. But I think me healing is a little bit better than me doing damage, especially late into the phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and healing, like, that is, like, I don't know. That is, like, one of the more interesting fights in terms of, like, what should we definitely be doing? Because obviously for damage, casting healing spell sucks. But like, trading one Swiftman for somebody living is, like, way worth, right?
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Like, even if they live for 30 more seconds, like, if they live for, like, 5 more seconds, just because of your Swiftman, that's worth more than your 2 globals, right? Because you still have dots rolling, plus they're alive for 5 more seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so it's definitely really good. Do we think it's gonna be? Do you guys think it's gonna be good going into next year? Do you think Restoration Affinity is going to be as useful?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you would need to buff Guardian like pretty hard, make it better.
I wouldn't say pretty hard, but it needs a buff. We need more burst.
Frenzied off the regen, and then maybe like more effectiveness for classes like 25% HP. Like, you could, I think honestly, I'd say they'd probably end up nerfing Restoration Affinity before the Swiftman.
It's just Swiftman. It's not even like a Restoration Affinity, I think.
Yeah.
I've caught myself not going into Guardian into Bear form as much this tier too.
Yeah.
Is it that the tier is not as spiky? Because there is a lot of consistent damage. So Feta Devour has like fairly consistent damage.
I would argue the only like spike damage
Mithrax
you really
is
have
kind of
is like
spiky,
Mithrax.
but it's not like I need to go Bear spiky. Like
not at all.
Like Agrimar and Argus were like, I probably want to go Bear here spiky.
There's so much damage going on that you have to go Bear. But
yeah,
no, it's not like that.
Now it's like consistent damage where I can just like heal through it with just Swiftman. It's like
it's consistent damage, and then there's the one shots, right?
Yeah,
like,
there is a different variation of Uldir where you're actually playing Guardian Affinity more because you want 6% DR plus if you're going Bear enough, I think there is like an alternative where you're playing Guardian Affinity as opposed to Resto.
I would say like with Guardian Affinity is good on a boss like Mother, right?
Explain.
like the way people do Mother, you take a large chunk of damage. And you're chilling.
Okay.
Or if you're soaking something, and it's like a big soak, Guardian Defense. But that didn't exist, right? And Mother, and when people were progging Mother, people were going over for the most part little at a time. Most people weren't like trying to.
You trying to
burst
say that
through.
you weren't just dying to beams being bugged on progging Mother?
Yeah, I remember killing that boss like 4 times before it actually died.
Yeah, because you just sit there and the person's like, "Oh, I died to the beam. This sucks."
Yeah, basically. But like you're soaking, right? Like soaking mechanics. Like you had Agrimar. Like you had like it wasn't really soaking, but like it's 120. Like that's a big fucking hit. Like, are you gonna take 120% of your HP over like 2 hits? Yeah, that's what Argus. That's what Argus and Agrimar was.
Exactly.
Like,
No, you're taking like all of your health.
As opposed to you're taking 200%. Like right now, it's like you're taking 200% of your health over like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So you like that's fucking amazing.
Swiftmend is like 50% of your health or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
50 to 75% or something like that. It's really fucking good.
But I don't really think it matters like what classes are good, what classes are bad. I think the only thing that really affected Uldir was like how well people played just generally.
You
noticed that, right? Like you noticed that, like you're good play, like bad players held you back a lot in Uldir.
There was a lot of individual performance that was required in Uldir for you to be okay. Dude, melee spots, it must suck ass to be a melee man because like
so competitive.
All our melees are complaining about being a melee right now.
Like melee is fine, but you have to 1, try super hard, and 2, you have to be like an exceptional melee player. And it's like, oh, we have unlimited amounts of spots for melee technically, but you have to be an exceptional melee player who's not going to mess up very difficult mechanics. And it's like, sure, if you're good enough, fine, right? You can come in. If you're gonna troll on proc and like be like mediocre or whatever, it's like, no, get the fuck out of my raid. Like, I don't know.
My guild was like, oh, can I sit for Mithrax? Like a hunter is like, oh, can I sit for Mithrax? And I'm like, do you see any more range we can bring in? Because I'm not bringing in 5 melee for that boss. I promise you, I'm not.
Yeah.
Not doing that. I already did that with a couple bosses this tier. Not doing that again.
It's a trap.
We brought 6 melee to Zekvaz.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's so many, dude.
We were doing alright.
We were doing Zekvaz and alt raid, and I'm playing melee, so this is like some shit. So we have 5 melee in alt raid, and I literally like, whenever the I-beam comes out, I like, oh, maybe I just don't hit the boss here. Maybe I actually just walk away because I'm worried about getting zapped into the ground. Because I'm just like, maybe my uptime doesn't matter. I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. We'll kill the boss. I'll just walk away.
It's a sad life.
I mean, I don't know. I don't need to be greedy to kill the boss there, but it's like, this is gonna suck ass for my damage, I guess.
Exactly.
I think the only thing that really came out of Uldir was like the big thing that came out of Uldir was utility is really big. Damage doesn't matter that much, but burst damage does matter. Number 1. So your nukes like Star Surge and Lunar Strike, and those matter like really like a lot.
Yeah.
And sustained damage outside of that matters not as much, but like it's the only real important thing.
Yeah. No, we got really fucked on sustained damage, which is like, oh. I mean, so like balance is really good target swapping because it can bank AP.
Bank AP, but like in terms of just like doing like once you hit it, you're done.
Yeah, no.
You hit your stuff, you spend your empowerments, you get 1 more Star Surge out, and then you're back.
I mean, you can still play. Like playing correctly is balance. Like class doesn't look that bad if you're playing correctly, right? It's really hard to like if you're like not playing perfect and you're fucking around with your cooldowns and you're kind of trolling a little bit, then it's gonna fucking suck and you're gonna do no damage or whatever, right? Or you're not gonna do priority damage or whatever else you need to kill the boss.
You're not gonna look good if you're
playing
not
correct.
Gonna look good if you're playing like for the kill.
Yep, I
like,
agree, 100%.
Like for me, I have to. I put myself to Incarn on second ad in Mithrax. I can tell you for a fact, the second ad in Mithrax makes you look really.
Don't worry,
bad.
I offered that same
Makes you
shit on
look
Prague,
really,
and they're
really
like,
bad.
no. They're like, we're gonna hold aspect of the pack instead. We don't want to use end card in there. I was like, okay, whatever. We'll do whatever you want.
But I think the 8.1 change is addressing some problems. Definitely.
So speaking on the PTR changes, so basically we got they're reverting the 50% nerf on Star Surge, mastery wise, changing it from 6% mastery to 12%. They're also bumping up all of the other mastery modifiers on all the other abilities by 1% off the base. So Starfall, Dots, Solar Wrath, Lunar Strike, all that stuff is getting bumped up by 1%. Twin Moons, 50% nerf to dot damage. Still going to
Not
be super
deal.
not a big deal.
It's like, yeah,
Big buff,
it's nothing.
big buff for Stellar Flare, like a 2.5% base buff for Stellar Flare, which is pretty big. And then we got some new traits. We got Switch Header, which is new.
Have you played with Switch Hitter at all?
I have. I thought it was pretty good.
The Star Surge giving what, like 5% leech, right?
It doesn't give you 5% leech.
It doesn't?
It only gives you stuff that's empowered by your affinities. So
Okay.
I'm getting stuff. Whenever I Swift Mend, I get the shield. Or if I had
You get a shield. How big is the shield?
It depends on the item level of the trait. It's pretty good though.
It's like decent.
It's
yeah.
a decently sized.
There's like Swift mending yourself and getting a fucking shield. Like that's huge. Like that's big.
I thought no. What I thought was I think what you're thinking. If you Swiftmend somebody else, they get it. Like the recipient of your Swiftmend gets a shield, but no, you Swiftmend anybody and you get the shield. It's like,
I mean, that's fine.
It's okay.
Swiftmend yourself, you get the shield. Like that takes that 50% heal, like more like 30%, 60% crit to like give you that additional buffer.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
nice.
You're not gonna fucking die.
And with all the consistent
defensive,
damage going
right?
on, you'll use that shield.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Mhm.
And then we got Arcanic Pulsar, which is basically after you Star Surge 9 times, you get Celestial Alignment or Reincarnation for 6 seconds. It's pretty good. Then we got Power of the Moon and High Noon being
Thank
reworked.
God.
Yeah,
Like I know everyone's hyped about Arcanic Pulsar, but I'm just happy that
I don't have to deal with
we
fucking
have,
Power
like,
of the Moon bullshit.
like semi-useful traits now.
Yeah, no. So, and then we also got a pretty big Lively Spirit nerf, but needs to get nerfed more, I guess.
Oh, please just spend it. Just destroy it.
Delete it? Like, that would be sick.
Yeah.
I could get down with that.
I mean, the issue is it's arrested, right? So like it's just make it like not usable in Boomy, I guess. Would fix
Or make
the
it
issue.
just give mana back. That would be cool too. No intellect
I
at
guess,
all.
yeah.
So basically, those are all the changes. So having PTR tested some of the fights, and like I've played around with all the changes actually so far. So what are we thinking about Pulsar as a whole? So I know. So for me, it looks like it's like a one trait wonder. Like you
Mandatory,
you want one.
mandatory value trait is what it's going to be.
How impactful is it going to be? Is it going to be worth taking
It's big.
the rest
It's
of your
really big.
streaking because of it?
What's up?
Do we think it's going to be worth taking like
I
prioritizing
don't think-
like
I
a
don't
ton
think-
of streaking stars because of it though?
I don't think you prioritize anything with it. I think you just have your one trait, you track it well, and you know what you're going to do when you get the proc, right? Like you know how you're going to use it, right? Okay, I'm at 7 stacks. I'm at 20 AP. It's probably going to take me about 15 seconds to get up to that 9th stack, but I want to take even longer than that. What is it lining up with? Can you do anything to work around with it? You want to make sure you can utilize it.
What did you
And
say,
you're
Nick?
gonna
You get like 24 seconds of the buff over 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
For free.
It's something about that, yeah.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of
it
like
depends
IFE.
on like
It's a worse IFE, right?
how much haste you not how much haste you have.
I don't know
like,
if I consider it like IFE, but it's like it's a little bit different.
Well, you
Because
just look at what
different,
IFE
yeah.
did, which was make your 3-minute cooldown a 2-minute cooldown, right? So you're basically getting an extra use over the fight. Is normally what IFE was. You would get an extra use, sometimes 2, depending on the fight length.
Yep.
And this is just going to end up being, hey, you're gonna get an extra use over like a 5-minute fight.
I don't think it gets you an extra. I don't think it's that it gets you an
I
extra
wouldn't
use. I
compare
think it
it
changes
exactly to an extra use, but I would say it's like a worse IFE.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Okay.
getting the extra use, but
It fucks with your burst window and gives you no control over it though, which is like
Yeah. I mean,
I think
One thing
IFE,
I like about it is that you just get a new like min-maxing thing for your spec, right?
yeah.
Which makes it so much more interesting. It's insane how much more interesting it is.
Nick, you're gonna have to
Just to
You're gonna have to Starfall just so you don't pop your
I don't
components
think
to
you
the accident.
spend. Do you spend the AP? Like, or do you hold it that long?
You would
I don't think
Starfall.
there's. I don't think there's a time
I
where I
don't.
would hold it that long. Right.
If you need
That's
to, if you
50
need to,
AP.
if you need to hold it for 10 seconds, you just Starfall and then you build back up.
Yeah, probably. Any longer is just not worth it, probably.
It depends on the
think you
fight,
get
right? Are you gonna
get
fucking
too
troll?
much out of a 6-second window.
I mean, you're not delaying your next incarn or anything for it. It's like you're delaying.
No,
You're
but-
wasting resources.
yeah. You're like
Okay.
Like how beneficial? How beneficial? Like just think about incarn. What do you get out of incarn and CA? Right. Ignore streaking. Don't pretend streaking doesn't exist.
You get the increased
You-
dot damage because it's bugged. You also.
Just think generally. Don't think big. Don't think like everything.
I mean, what
Think,
if what?
what
Okay,
is
so
what is
so
the
hold on,
value
hold
from
on.
CA and
If
incarn?
you okay, so if you're going to hold. If you're going to hold like a proc like that, you're probably also holding Fury of Elune, Force of Nature, Warrior of Elune, or Moons, right?
I mean, everything's. I mean,
You're holding some shit. You're holding some shit for that. No. If you're actually gonna hold like Pulsar, you're going to be holding other shit too. It's not just going to be Pulsar. I don't think, right? I think
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, depending on how the fight works, a lot of times you will, but
you get okay. So if you get Pulsar every minute 40, are you going to use Pulsar on the second ad of Mithrax? Right? Are you going to hold it for like 15 to 20 seconds and line it up with Fury of Elune and Force of Nature and fucking delete
No.
that ad?
No.
Okay.
I would not. I would just use it and then do the normal stuff. Out
you
of
know
that.
it's fine as long as you don't
Like-
lose it like another window of pulsar. Right?
I mean, you're
20
losing
seconds, that's
damage on your spenders,
three,
but like
that's almost 3 surges.
it's like 1 every 9 seconds or something. But yeah, like 1 every 8 to 1 every 9 seconds or so. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, that's
it depends on
assuming
the
you're starting
fight.
from 0, right? Like I'd say over 20 seconds, normally you can get about 2.5 surges out, right? Like 2.5 being like you can get 2 or you can get 3, depending on your procs, depending on like what you're doing for that time, what you need to cast, etc. Do you need to reapply dots?
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't know. I don't think you try to optimize it that much. I think you optimize the actual use of it, but I don't think you sit there for like 20 seconds and you just say, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna like.
You know, maybe you're right. Maybe
Do whatever
holding
I
it for
want.
that long is actually not going to be that big of a deal, and more of the
You're not
concept of
going
like
to hold
targets
it for,
swapping
like-
with like all of your resources and shit is more important than just holding Pulsar, right? You're probably
But
right.
back to what I was saying. Just think about why is Incarn a good spell?
Because it lasts 30
Duration.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If fucking what is a good 6-second cooldown? Battle Cry, 100% crit. You know, Incarn is not a good 6-second cooldown. It's a really bad 6-second cooldown.
Fury of Elune and Force of Nature are good 6-second cooldowns.
Yeah, exactly. Like these are good, but you're not like you're using.
You're
it,
right.
it's
No,
giving you
you're
more
actually
damage,
100% correct.
you make it beneficial, but like you can't like sit there. You can't sit on it for that long. If
Yeah.
there's downtime, sure, you can like fuck it after downtime. Like say you're on Kill Jade and the boss is about to go up in the air, and you just build up and hold on your 8 stacks. But you know, aside from that, I don't see you like going out of your way to cap resources and cap things and cast fucking Starfall on one target to like have this like 6 seconds where you do like a good amount of damage. It's very
Yeah.
fight dependent, but I highly doubt in a normal situation that will be the case.
Still a
Yeah,
one tray
not in
wonder
a
though.
normal
Still,
situation.
it's still going to be really fucking good. But it's
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's not going.
It's
to
going to be a
It should be
mandatory-
played around like that. You're right. I think.
I would say outside of unless like you're literally not casting Star Surge, which I don't think there's any fight that has existed thus far this expansion where you don't cast Star Surge, you'll run Arcanic Pulsar.
Like you primarily Starfall.
Yeah.
There was that fight that we were beta testing even. What was the name of it? I have no fucking idea. The one with Bonsomdi in it. I don't remember. Is it just Bonsomdi?
Rustican.
Rusticon, sure, whatever. Rosticon, it was like there was like 4 or 5 targets at the very beginning. I was like, I'm just gonna Star Surge. It's like even on 3 targets anyways.
I mean,
but if you have Pulsar,
you need
it's gonna be
priority
better.
target damage anyway on that side. It's like you don't want to stuff all it.
Speaking of Juan Samdi,
Oh my god.
Borabank, is that
Power
you?
of the Moon.
Oh, Power of the Moon. Power of the Moon is.
I think Power of the Moon.
Borabank is on the Power of the Moon
huge-
train. Choo
You
choo.
have to like it. Just feels good, dude. Like 3. Like we're talking minimum 3. Like every single time you cast Moonfire, you're basically getting at least 1 Lunar Strike, empowered Lunar Strike.
So does this make Warrior of the Loom better or not really?
I think it makes it better. I think it definitely like doesn't. Does Force of Nature scale well? I don't even know if it scales well.
Yeah, it scales linearly with that.
But Warrior of the Loom scales harder because it gives more AP, right? Or no? Does it?
I mean, technically
more-
it's going to
doesn't
be
it
better
give more-
because Star Surge is going to be doing more, like a larger percentage of damage, so AP is going to be more valued, right?
And Lunar Strike's going to be doing more damage because Mastery is valued. Like right now, like we're just banking on like how fast we cast, and like occasionally you get a crit, and that's nice. But like having Mastery back in the picture and like Mastery being good again, and like getting more and more Mastery as opposed to like having 500, like your Lunar, you're going to be doing more. Like getting more Mastery obviously devalues Force of Nature.
Yeah, Mastery's a pretty shit stat for trees.
That's true, yeah.
It's a dead stat for trees. Correction. It is a dead stat. It's almost a dead stat for everything. But
pretty shit stat for trees, yeah. I don't know. I think you're right though. I think Warrior Balloons.
Especially if there's 6 traits.
Yeah, if there's 6 traits, do we know what's the deal with that?
No idea.
Okay,
Wait,
I don't know anything about the fucking traits.
6 traits. Or?
So
Everyone keeps bringing up this like 6 trait thing. I have no idea what the hell that's about. I heard it, but like,
so apparently
like,
they're adding another
so
ring or
far
something.
it's just another outer ring we get.
Yeah,
which like has only not rate.
I hope we
class
bring her
specific
as
trait.
rate trait to the spaceship.
It just has class specific traits.
Randomized.
Oh.
Yeah, it has like no general ones.
Nick, talk dirty to me, baby.
That's pretty good.
So it's like
That's pretty good, yeah.
so you can put your 2 value traits in there. Arcanic Pulsar.
Give it to me.
Bottom.
We got the Power of the Moon
just
for my
don't
lunar
like-
empowerment bullshit, and then we got the Arcanic Pulsar for my fucking stars, or my my transformation into the most powerful chicken, the most omnipotent chicken.
we're going to get like, what is it, Solar Blaze, or what is that trait called again?
Sunblaze?
Sunblaze and Dawning Sun on each
No,
piece.
no, I said talk dirty to me.
like-
Don't let me down, dude.
Or like Lively Spirit and then Sunblaze, or Sunblaze and Pulsar or something. It's going to happen, and you know it.
I
Dude,
mean, I
why
don't
did
think
they put
additional
Sunblaze?
pulsars are going to be that bad, right? Like,
No,
do you think
it's-
additional pulsars are going to be bad.
No, it's.
I guess.
No.
at
Stacking them
400 eye
is
level,
actually not sick. It actually
pretty
is really
bad,
bad.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'Cause
just
I was thinking
starter
about it, like
damage.
900.
It's like worse than
damage?
it's like worse than Dawning. Which one's the one with the Star Surge? Is it Sunblaze? Sunblaze is the one with Star Surge, right? It's worse than like Sunblaze is like empowered bullshit Star Surge. Like the Star Surge damage is like worse than Sunblaze's. So you would rather play Sunblaze over like Pulsar's damage part, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are good. So what are your
You
guys'
see
first
yourself
impressions of the new raid? I really like outdoor raids, right? I've been enjoying.
yeah.
I think it's really fucking cool. I liked Iowa Shard because it's like a big outdoor zone, and I think what's the actual name of the fucking raid? Something about
Battle for Dazar'alor.
Okay, Dazar'alor,
Yeah.
yeah. Battle for Dazar'alor.
You know, I just like that they're trying new things, like the
Some of the
the
encounters
treasure
are
boss.
unique.
Did you test the treasure boss?
The one on the boat that crit aired everybody that we just
No,
logged off.
no. The one where you had to fight like 2 golems and split your raid into 2
Oh, I
groups.
missed that.
and
That
you
was
walk
that was
down
a
the
Friday
path.
testing.
Wasn't that the
Explain it.
Alliance one that we couldn't make because you couldn't make an Alliance druid?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I played mage.
Sleepy Mage. I also
Hell
liked the robot one where you get in the robots and you're like,
Oh my god.
I'm like, Borabank, you have
Okay,
red.
One thing
Borabank
about
Tunnels,
this
you have
raid,
blue.
it's going to be impossible for pugging.
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
impossible.
Dude, I thought Mother was bad for pugging. Get fucking
No,
prepared, boys.
that guy is
Get
bad.
prepared.
It's not even possible. Like There's no
No,
way.
you have to have people in voice
You
like
need,
talking
you
to
need,
one another.
you need some add-on if there's like any way
there's gonna
to
be a weak card.
use
There's
it.
gonna be an
There's
add-on
no
that's
aura
gonna
to
yell
track
out.
like what color
I
you
don't
have.
think there's a way to track it so far.
There's no aura on the bots
Yeah.
to track what color it is, because otherwise you just have it screaming in /say chat what color you have over your head or something, some bullshit like that. I don't know. That fight's cool. I think all the fights are like interesting enough.
They look very interesting and very nice. I like.
What do
them.
we think
A
about
lot of
Boomy
them
in them?
don't. Okay, do you feel that a lot of these fights are kind of like over the top? Like just for like a general person, like just think to like what Uldir
I think
was.
Battle for
like,
Azeroth has been
Vectis.
over the top.
No, I don't think that's the case at all. Like look at Cahoon, look at Mithrax, look at Vectis. Like everything's like a boss, and like they're not hard bosses.
I mean, it's the first
Maybe it's
raid.
because it's an intro raid and things like that. But you know, even compare
sure.
these things to like Antorus.
I mean,
Do you think there was more going on in the bosses you've tested so far than on average?
I
in, like,
wouldn't
some other
say
things?
it's more. They are
There's
like
definitely
very
more
easy.
new mechanics going on in this raid than there. So
Simultaneously, though.
Antorus was definitely less interesting. Antorus and Uldir are about the same level of interesting to me, and then I think Tumas Argaris was like interesting in terms of mechanics, but it fucking sucked because
Until
the
you
fight
got
design.
to KJ.
Yeah, well, no, the fight itself was interesting. It was just cancer. It's just not fun.
I just don't
Yeah.
mind that they adding new abilities because they're like easy to understand, right? So it's like it's not bad.
Yeah,
Trying something new is good.
I mean,
I don't want
what
to
are
soak
you what are
shit
you
again.
gonna what are you gonna do whenever your boy gets fucking stunned out of the robot again for the fucking third time in a row, and you fucking scream because he for some reason can't understand to not
I mean,
get
that's why you.
to not
that's why
to
you
not
get
hold
three
on to
people
not
in the
read
raid,
off.
right?
Hold on, you can't understand to not read off your boy's other button before he jumps out of the robot, so your boy's stuck there without a color, right? And it's like, oh, well, that sucks.
I mean,
But I
that's
mean-
just something that like
That's just being dumb.
yeah.
If
That's,
you
that's
get
just, that's
people that
something
suck
isn't
at it-
happening to our guild, like you're just gone. See you later. It doesn't look like there's a melee requirement on that boss. I'm sure we can bring in
Dude,
anybody.
melee is so fucked too.
Yeah,
It is.
they're gone.
There.
It's
On
even
that
worth
boss?
it, right?
No,
It's
on
the
the
entire
first
raid.
boss, the Monkey Man too. They're like awful.
Yeah.
Just the worst class on both of those fights.
I think that it's a little different because AKA retesting was literally just like boss versus boss, like it was monkey versus monkeys. But-
What? Why are you gonna do me like that, Bora?
okay, all I want to say is we were testing the first boss, and they said, okay, everyone get with partner. So me and Topkex get to the side, and then all of a sudden the priest comes over to me, and like, why is there 3 people on top of me? And then fucking Telos walks on top of me. I'm like, why are there 4 people? Then like a mage walks on top of me. And I'm like, why are there 5 people stacked on top of me right now? We said get in the partners. You guys are stupid.
I'm like, I need a pair. I don't have anybody. I'm like, here's Borabank. I'm gonna go stand on top of.
I was already standing on top of somebody. Jesus.
I know. I was
guys
like,
are
why I need a pair?
But-
I'm like, oh, Bora, waddle
You
on
can
over
just-
there.
You can still bring 6 man. Like, oh, what is there? Well, what is wrong with bringing
Target
like,
swapping
4 melee
sucks
to that boss?
ass. I mean, if the robot
but you
spawns
can
far
just-
away,
Well, yeah, but the whole thing is
the
like,
most important part
robot-
is not letting that robot get casts off. That's the only important part of the fight.
you can still put 4 melee on that robot. I'm
Dude.
pretty sure. Has a big enough. It looked like it had a big enough hitbox.
I mean, they don't need to be spread. It doesn't even matter, right? They can be stacked up. But like,
Well, if they're
Not-
stacked up, they take extra damage.
ooh,
So what you do is you have 2
Okay,
melee on
so
the
yeah,
left
sure.
of the robot, 2
Four-
melee on the right of the
you're
robot.
bringing
and then-
4 melee to a fight. That's not that many.
but then you can have 2 on the boss.
All right.
I mean,
okay.
that's pretty much what we did. Like again, damage doesn't fucking matter half the time. Like there's so much room for all these abilities to happen and all these things to work, and all your range to do what they're gonna do. As long as everyone's on the same page. Like I mean, just think back to Zekvaz. You want to know how we solved the 6 melee issue on Zekvaz? Hey, you 3, you're not allowed to hit the fucking third ad. Get the fuck off of it. Like that's literally what I did because there was 6
Dude,
melee
playing-
on top of the third ad and they all died.
Playing melee on Fed Devourer, I play like such like a cuck boy. As soon as I get the big circle, I'm literally like I walk out of melee. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to hit the boss. It'll be okay.
And you know what you're gonna do if it's that big of a problem, right? You're just gonna assign cooldowns. You know, there's a robot. It's pretty much on
Yeah.
a timer.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, hey,
Hey,
1 minute
Tuddles,
cooldowns
and
here,
Karn.
2 minute cooldowns here. 3 minute cooldowns on the first one.
Yep.
1 minute cooldowns on the first one, 2 minute cooldowns on the second one, 1 minute cooldowns on the third one.
Mhm.
Shit like that. You're just going to assign cooldowns. And it doesn't matter what you bring because it's going to die because nothing else matters.
Okay, yeah, no,
The boss will die.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty difficult tier for Melee as a whole, because that boat boss
I
also
think that
fucking
it's
sucked.
not... Okay, I don't think I tested the third boss. What, that was Flame Fist? Maybe I just had no idea what was going on during that boss. I think that was probably what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a...
Just had absolutely no idea what was happening on that boss.
It seems like it's one of those things where it's like Melee's harder than it needs to be against, same as Uldir. It's like, oh, they're bringable, but it's like hard.
I mean, you need to bring 2, right? So you have to,
Sure.
which is the issue. The issue with it is the buffs. The issue with Melee right now is buffs. Because you
Do you
even think back like
Brewmaster,
5
you think
Melee...
Brewmaster or Mistweaver are going to be in a spot where you don't need them?
Brewmaster's always going to be in a spot where...
I mean, is it going to be in a spot where it's like, oh, I need the fucking Windwalker specifically for this buff?
No.
Okay, so that's 1. You only have 1. You have Demon Hunter.
No, Warrior.
You don't need Battle Shout. You can fucking get scroll for that.
We're not AK. We use Battle Shout.
What are you trying to say?
This is an AK on Mithrax, okay?
Yo, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, you better have nothing to say. You're on camera. Anyways.
No, I don't have anything to say about that at all. There's nothing. There is literally no comment from me.
But no, it's just you're locked into your Warrior, you're locked into your DH, and then you have like 2-3 spots to work with, and you normally have like a 5 to 6 Melee roster. I mean, we have 7 right now.
I don't know what we have.
And I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna fit them in. And like, oh, you need a grip for a boss. Oh, that's your 3rd Melee.
Death Knight.
And then you're like, oh, you need a grip for a boss, but you there's like a range requirement now.
Yeah.
You know, 3 of your 4 Melee are just locked in, and it's just better to bring like 18 Warlocks.
Fucking Mithrax, man. All right. So, what do you guys thoughts about the new raid? You like it? Think it's good?
I think it looks cool. I think it's gonna take a long time to clear. Like not clear like the first time, but like
like prog or like refarm.
I think refarm's gonna look like a pain in the ass just from like the size of the raid. Unless there's like really good teleporting and things like that.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of like Nighthold in terms of like Nighthold was sometimes like a bitch to reclear because like, you're just going everywhere. It just
wiping
takes
out
forever to get
Tichondrios and
everywhere.
Croesus was like,
Yeah,
or not
exactly.
not Croesus, Botanist or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you could always wipe on Tyche, you could always wipe on Botanist, you could always wipe on Star Augur just from bullshit. If you miss a kick on Elisand or whatever, you just like almost insta wipe too.
I think a lot of people are better with prog wipes. I'm literally just talking about like going from boss to boss, killing every boss. I think that like, but I don't think that bothers people too much.
Okay.
Like I think that's going to be like a 2.5 hour minimum,
That's
as
not bad.
opposed to like Uldir being like you can literally clear Uldir
Farm
in
it like an hour and a half, yeah.
an hour and a half right now, and that's like really nice.
So it's pretty much the same as Legion.
Nighthold,
Right.
yeah.
Well, not Legion with like Emerald Nightmare and Nighthold. Yeah, I
going
guess.
from Emerald Nightmare to
Yeah,
is what it was.
which I guess is fine. It just depends on when the raid is actually coming out, right?
Yeah. Really hoping it's like a
Don't,
January.
please listen. Don't fuck this up, Blizzard.
After Christmas.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
everyone. Oh, we got all our Blizzard devs listening.
Blizzard.
Settles
After-
podcast right now.
After Christmas, please.
Please.
I don't want to do this thing where my guild is not in a great spot because it's a 4-week tier or 5-week tier, and we end like right after Christmas ends, but we get fucked again because our Holy Paladin insert X class here or whatever else, right, goes on vacation because it's the holidays and it's to be expected. Please don't fuck me over. All right, Bora, where can we find you at, brother?
You can find me twitch.tv/Borabank. Encore Illidan, Icy Veins, Balanced Druid Guide.
Icy Veins Balance Drew guy, you're very...
Gonna be putting some stuff out for Dreamgrove around the same time the Talent Guide goes out as well. That should be pretty good for like rating.
We got the Talent Guide coming out eventually
Talent
too.
Guide will probably be out like the week before, or probably the week of,
like a couple days before.
In the
It's-
week,
day
yeah.
of. Yeah, that's probably how it works.
We normally get a couple days before that. Nick, where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/NickDruid.
Twitch.tv/NickDruid.
In the Discord. Yeah, and I don't know.
We got the Moonkin monthly Discord. You can find him there too.
Oh, yeah.
Join the Moonkin
Join,
monthly Discord.
please.
Hell yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and then we got me, Tettles as always. You guys know where to find me. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/moonkinmonthly. Always sick. We appreciate all of our generous patrons.
We do.
Yeah. All right. Everybody go check out Borabank's Icy Veins guide. Check him out, twitch.tv/Borabank. And I think that's it. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Later.
Hey guys, special shout out to our Patreon supporters Arui, Mr. Sliggy, Bloodkin, Pixel, Hamflaps, and Taters. Thanks. Alright, there you go, Tattle.